Hey guys, Creator Mom. So I want to do like a show review. The show is called Tell Me Your Secrets, and one of the main actresses is Lily Robb. I don't know if it's Robbie or it's Rabe. I never even knew her name, but I love this actress. She played in she's one of the main actresses in American Horror Story. I just love her. I love her energy. I need to go watch some videos of her in like an interview. I feel like even though actors are playing like a role, I feel and I could be wrong, but um I feel as though they can't really hide their true energy or their true essence in a way. Um Anyways, I like this actress. I'm just drawn to her. I just love the way she acts. And I love her energy. So, anyways, this show, if you haven't seen it and you're going to watch it, don't listen to anything I'm going to say. Because I'm going to tell everything about season 1. And apparently, this came out in like 2021. Never heard of it. And I just now watched season 1. They need to come out with season 2 because the way it ended was, like, okay, where's season 2 at? But anyways, so I love horror, mystery, thriller shows. That's like my genre. So in this show, what happens is there is a serial killer, right? And killing all these young girls. All these young girls were found dead with their, you know, head smashed and basically like with a hammer that was, the tool. Anyways, so there was one lady in the show. She's one of the main characters. Her daughter also was missing. But the thing is that they never found her daughter. Like they hadn't found her body. But she'd been missing for so long that it was just like that most people were just like, let it go. She's probably dead. But the mother was just like, no, no, she's got to be out there. She's got to be out there. They did not find her body. But her mother, like, yeah, mostly everyone was assuming the girl was dead. But the mother was assuming that she was alive, but just, whatever, somewhere where she was being kept or whatever, but she was out there as a victim. So what happens is they find the guy who is the one killing these girls, or at least one of the ones killing the girls. And his girlfriend, which is the main character that I love, Lily Robb, she plays the girlfriend of this guy who gets put in jail for killing these girls. She also gets put in jail because they pretty much accuse her of like kind of being an accomplice or maybe having something to do with it because this was her boyfriend after all. Like, how could she not know that he's killed all these girls? So the problem is that she has like post-traumatic stress and she can't remember anything. Like she cannot remember. She's having a hard time accessing her memories. So I don't think they really even didn't have hardcore proof or evidence that she did anything, but just that she was associated with this guy. He was a boyfriend. Anyways, they let her out of jail, at a prison or whatever, under witness protection. Because the psychiatrist who's working with her, who also ends up being dirty actually in the show, it's really crazy. Like, this show, I love this show because of the plot twist. It wasn't just like it wasn't basic. It had a very good storyline. So, because the whole time you're not necessarily thinking that the killer's girlfriend had anything to do with it, but you're trying to figure out the whole show if she knows anything. That's the whole point of season 1. The mother of the girl, who's missing, wants to figure out if this girlfriend can remember anything or knows where the heck her daughter is. So anyways, the show progresses, and the girlfriend of the serial killer ends up unlocking some memories. And the whole time, it turns out that the mother of the girl who's missing did not really know her daughter. She didn't know the monster that her daughter was, because it was actually her daughter who was killing these girls with this guy. They were in on it together. And, you know, at least that's what I'm pretty sure happened. The show did have this element of like going back and forth, which I didn't really like, because when as the show is progressing, then you're catching up and kind of figuring out what's going on. So it's like one of those where you have to you're like, what's happening? The way when the show starts, everything had already happened. So it's kind of like going back and showing past memories and coming back to the present. So anyways, the whole time the mother was out there advocating for these girls who'd been killed and and then to find out that her daughter actually was the one who had something to do with the murders of these girls. So what happened was, the girl knew that serial killer dude before the main actress, Lily, knew or got with him. So yeah. So anyways, the girl who's missing, quote unquote, actually tried to kill the serial killer's girlfriend. It's really confusing, but anyways, those memories come back to her, and because she was jealous. She was pregnant with the guy, she was pregnant with his baby, and she wanted to kill her too, because she was in love with this dude. So, turns out the whole time the girl that they had in jail, thinking she had something to do with the murders because this guy's her boyfriend, had nothing to do with the murders. And the girl who's still missing actually was the one. So, how it ends is that the girl who was put in prison falsely, she was pregnant, but she had given her baby to somebody to hold on to them, or someone had done it for her, like this lady who helped raise her. Well, she gave her newborn to her, and she in turn gave it to somebody else, said, hey, watch the baby until she comes for her, just temporarily. She's, now, she had to go to jail and everything. So then, when Lily Robb goes to get her daughter, she goes, no. Oh, her name is Karen in the show. That's right. She goes, no, Karen already came and got the child. You're not Karen. Karen already came. And she's like, no, I'm Karen. That's my child, Well, turns out the girl who had been missing, who her mother was trying to look for her and think, everybody's saying she's dead, and she was one of the ones who was the victim of the serial killer. She's actually the serial killer. Or, she got the child. And so that's how it ends there. Like, now she's all. So anyways, the mother of this girl, she's thinking her daughter's a victim the whole time. She's tormented because she's thinking her daughter's a victim. And the whole time, her daughter is actually the perpetrator of these crimes. But she couldn't really come to terms with it. She couldn't really believe it. She didn't really admit it in the show, because Karen was like, you got to tell them the truth. You got to tell them that I didn't have anything that, you got to tell them that who your daughter is, Well, you might ask, well, how does she know Karen was telling the truth? Well, because Karen was like, your daughter told me, she hid some information like her journal and some other things that were like proof of who she was. And she's like, she said everything is with honey. Karen didn't know what that meant, but the mother knew what that meant. So that's how she knew that, okay, like she's telling the truth. Like my daughter has spoken to this Karen lady. So my daughter, she finds out like her daughter is the monster, And yeah. So the mother was just as crazy though. Because she read her daughter's journal, and I think what happened was her mother kept forcing her to go to swimming. She was in like competitive swimming. And I think the coach was doing stuff to the girls, and it was in her journal. So that at the end of the show, the mother ends up inviting that swimming coach to her house. And she says, come on in or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I found my daughter's journal. And boom, you just hear the gun go off. So she kills the swim coach. And it's just like, that's crazy. Like, dude, now your daughter and you're about to go to prison for being murderers. But in the whole beginning, it's like they're the victims, So that's the whole plot twist. That they're just as crazy. And then the lady who was accused, Karen, is actually a really good person. Had nothing to do with anything, But she couldn't even remember what had happened. So that was the problem. Her memories were blocked. She couldn't remember either way. She was just like, oh my God, if I had something to do with the murders of these girls, like, she couldn't remember either way. But she did start to remember. So there's more to the story because where the town she was in witness protection, had some dirty stuff going on too, with some girls that were in an orphanage there or whatever, or a group home. The guy who owned it or whatever, or funded it, was taking these girls' ovaries and stuff, telling them that they were doing God's work, So there was some perverse stuff going on in that town, which Karen was trying to like figure out what was going on. But her psychiatrist was like, you're in witness protection, like you can't be getting involved with young girls, especially with the accusations that have been against you. But the psychiatrist is dirty too. He knew what was going on in the town, and he was in cahoots. I think he was being mostly manipulated by the guy who ran the town, who also ran the group home. So, and I think they were gonna try to pin some dirty stuff that was going on in that town on this woman Karen because of Karen's history and her not remembering whether or not what the hell happened. So anyways, it's a really good show. I look forward to season 2 coming out.